Welcome to Wishpath Yoga. My name is Meredith. We're going to take a minute before we start moving to set an intention for our practice. So when we wish to do something, we apply effort to make that thing happen. An intention or wish path channels the energy of our practice toward a specific outcome for ourselves and others, kind of like a laser beam channeling the light in one direction. So if you want, take a minute and consider that yoga offers us an opportunity to transform physically, but also mentally or emotionally. So if you consider the experience that you wish to have, you can think, through my efforts doing yoga today, may I offer energy toward that outcome for myself or others. Good. Okay, so we'll start in standing. So if you need to have a blanket for any kneeling poses that come later on, you can set that up now or have it handy. But we'll come to mountain pose at the back of the mat. So feet a comfortable space apart, toes forward. Knees soft, neutral pelvis, spine nice and tall, so you feel like your belly and your heart and your brain stand one on top of the other. Good. Take a nice deep breath in, meet your hands above your head. And then as you exhale, let your fingertips touch behind your back. We'll move like that at our own pace. So if you feel lifting your arms all the way up isn't comfy, just stop at shoulder height and bring them back down. Good. One more time to the top. And then as your hands come behind your back, let your fingers interlace and reach your hands down toward the floor. Bring right ear to right shoulder. Jaw nice and relaxed. Tip your chin up just a little. Good. Ear to shoulder. And over to the other side. Lift your chin. And ear to shoulder. Good. Let your head come back to tall. Take your hands up one more time. And we'll come forward, knees bending toward the centers of the feet, hands on the thighs. Cat-cows, we're going to ground into the legs and then move our spine between cow and cat at whatever pace feels comfortable. You can breathe in or out as it feels good to do so. Sometimes if your back is feeling a little tight, it'll feel better to go a little bit slower. Breathe in and out as you move, whatever pace feels comfortable. Then as you exhale, bring your elbows onto your thighs and press your prayer hands together so the pads of your fingers are connected. Breathe in, everything feeling relaxed. And as you exhale, press into your feet and press the pads of your fingers together through the whole exhale. Inhale, relax. So you can do this at your own pace. Try it one more time. Good. And then with your next inhale, take a pause, and then we're going to press into the feet. Exhale as you stand up. Breathe in at the top. And then exhale, dive down and up. So again, make this movement bigger or smaller, keeping the comfort of your knees in mind. So the pause in for the breath at the top. Exhale through the movement. Good. Gather your hands into your heart, knees bend, hips go back, and turning to one side, either staying tall like this or bringing your elbow across your thigh. Inhale through the center, reach up if it feels good, and over to the other side. As you twist, try to keep your knees lined up. Don't let this knee pull back. Good. Inhale, center. And exhale, back to standing, and neutral pelvis, hands to heart. Walk your right foot forward and keep your feet hip width apart. Back toes can be a little turned out. Good. Neutral pelvis and front ribs in and down. Let your arms lift to where it feels comfortable in front of you. Straightening your front knee, reach your fingertips toward the ceiling behind you. So as your arms come back, let them feel really strong as they lift and straighten. Go one more time. Good. And then if it feels good, hold a gentle warrior one here, hands apart, or palms meet. Some of you will bend your elbows and hug them toward each other. And then inhale, let your sternum lift. Good. Hands come back to the sky and into the heart, back toes tuck under. As you exhale, step the back foot forward, toe to the floor, or knee level with the hip, or hands interlaced around the shin. You can roll out that floating ankle if it feels good. And just try to keep your gaze straight forward. Good. Exhale, step back to where you started. And we'll just have a gentle stretch over the front leg. Still warming up, so if you need to, keep your knee bent. If you want to go legs a little straighter, go a little straighter. Still pressing down through your legs and feet. Soft knees, come back to standing. Exhale, roll up. And when you're ready, step back to mountain pose, and we'll trade for the other side. So as you get there, make sure both feet are flat and the front knee is gently soft. Okay, let your arms lift to where it feels comfortable without lifting your shoulders. Front ribs in and down. And we'll draw back as the knee straightens, pinky fingers reaching toward the sky. One more time, if it feels good. Good, and then hands can stay apart or meet, and or bend your elbows and hug your elbows in. Try to keep your rib cage moving as you breathe in and out. Good, and then hands come back to the heart. Tuck your back toe. When you're ready, exhale and step forward. Bring the ball of the foot to the floor in front of you, or a knee level with the hip, or leg tug a little closer. You can roll that ankle, crack. Good, and then when you're ready, step back. Get your foot all the way down, flat behind you, and the hands on your leg, not on your knee. See how the back of the leg feels. If you want to take it a little bit straighter, you can, but keep a lot of effort pressing down through both legs. Good, lift your knees soft, exhale, come back to tall, take a breath in. And then we'll make our way back to our original position at the back of the mat. Good, take a breath in. Exhale, come back to those bent knees. Hips traveling back so the knees aren't too far forward, coming across into twist. And other side. Good, come back, elbows to thighs, head dropping forward. Or if it feels good, tummy on your legs, hands on the ground. Really let your head drop. Press down into your legs and feet, and don't be in a rush to straighten your legs. Then reaching into your fingers, let your knees come down to your mat. So again, use a blanket here for cushioning if it's best. Please keep your toes tucked under, heels pointing straight up, and just gently stretch the bottoms of your toes and feet. So you can press a little bit with your hands and keep your knees on the ground. Or if it feels good, you can start to roll through your feet, bring your heels toward the ground, and just rocking back and forth. You may notice it's a little easier on one side than the other. Careful with your knees. If there's any trouble, just keep them on the floor in front of you. Good, go one more time each way. Good, and then with knees down, let your toes relax and come to Vinyasa or child's pose. So as you come down, if your head doesn't land comfortably on your mat, bring your head onto stacked hands, either in fists or flat palms. And then breathe in and down. So let your tummy relax. As you exhale, slide your hands towards your knees and make your way up into a kneeling position. Breath in at the top. And as you exhale, return to child's pose, letting your hands come onto your back, forehead toward the ground. Breath in. Exhale to rise. Inhale, if you can, touch your hands. Exhale, palms face the sky when they're on your body. Go one more time. Down. And then we'll come up and we'll stay up. So breath in, hands into the heart. And we're going to open the right foot for Parigasana or gate. So you want your heel lined up with both knees. Or you could take your leg straight and keep this knee underneath the shoulder to start. Okay, so coming over hand to thigh. Or if you're in the straight leg version, hand to shin, just not on your kneecap. And then just press down into both feet. If your neck is sore, look down or forward. If you can, look up. And then if you wish, the free arm can come alongside your ear, palm facing the ground. Good. Take a breath in. As you exhale, come back to tall. And take your fingertips down to the floor below your shoulders. If you need to, you can bend this side knee a little bit. Take it as straight as you can. And then lift your toes up toward the sky on that foot. And some of you can take your hips a little back. Or all the way to that heel behind you. Can hold or rock forward and backward. Good, and then as you bring your shoulders back over your hands, take that leg behind you with your toe tucked under. Good, press down into your feet, press down into the pads of your fingers, and then still pressing, lift the straighter leg. No higher than your hip, try not to let the ribs fall toward the floor. Exhale, knee to heart. Inhale, lift. Knee to opposite elbow. And lift. If you want to, walk your opposite hand forward. Or pressing down, you can lift that arm up, thumb pointing toward the sky. Good. Bring your hand down. Exhale, knee to heart one more time. And then tucking your toe under, step back to downward dog. Feet a comfortable distance apart again, soft knees, soft elbows. Take a breath in, exhale, come back to hands and knees. Heart forward through cow. And cat stretch to lift your back. And from neutral, head back to child's pose, palms facing the sky if you can. You come back to palms down, exhale, wave back to kneeling. Breath in. Exhale, lower. Breath in. Press into your feet as you come up. Good, and one more time down. And then holding at the top, we'll set up our gate pose on the other side. So step your left foot over, heel below your knee, and just come into the side stretch here, or you can take the foot out to the side a little further with the leg straight. So wherever you're going, try not to round too far forward. This hand can stay on your hip. If it's comfortable, bring it alongside the ear. Good, swimming down, exhale, coming back to tall, breath in. And then we'll come forward, fingertips or palms or on the ground, or if your wrists are sore, you can make fists with your hands. The leg beside you, you can bend it a little more if you need, and hold, just pressing down through everything that's on the floor, even that heel. Some of you will go further back and hold, or you can pulse back and forth. Good. And then from the forward position, the straight leg heads out behind you, toes tucked under. And then just take a minute, press down, and use the effort of pressing down to lift the leg. And then bring the knee in as you bow your head forward. Open, and the knee crosses over. And then open and hold. If you want, walk your other hand a little further forward. You have the option also to lift that arm. Good, and then lower the hand, lower the leg, and step to downward dog. Bring your knees down. Allow your toes to stay tucked under. And then as you're ready, bring your fingertips towards your knees. Press your feet flat. Come elbows to thighs right away if your back is tight, head dropping, or again, tummy to thighs. As you exhale, come to chair. Breath in. Exhale, twist. Now, if you want this time, you can lift your heels and take your hips down. Good. Come back to flat feet and through center. Breath in. Exhale, turn to the other side. Heels stay on the ground or lift. Good. And return to chair. Hands back to thighs. And cat-cows at your own pace. Still grounding down through your legs and feet the whole time. Good. Use your next cat to roll up. Take a breath in. And exhale, hands come back into your heart. And we'll walk forward, right leg again. Good. Start with your knee a little soft. And we're going to turn gently to the right. Separate the hands, one to the front and one to the back. Gaze is up off the floor, fingers nice and long and straight. And then we're going to tip. So the hand in front is going to come outside that thigh or knee. Arm behind you goes toward the sky. So if you want, you can keep this knee bent and stay right here. Or you can travel a little further down the leg. Maybe taking the front leg a little straighter. Good. Reverse your steps. Come back to that tall twist. And then we'll come forward with the arms. Lift them if it feels nice. Exhale, hands to heart, and we're going to move toward warrior three. So letting the back heel come up. Press down into that front leg. And if you want, lift the back leg. Good. Bend your standing knee, bring your fingertips down. So kind of like a tripod. Bend both knees and bow toward them. And as you exhale, come to standing. When you can, again, grab that left knee and hug it in and up. And then opposite hand to hold the outside of that knee. Turn the other way. Left arm reaching behind you. Some of you can grab the outside edge of your foot. And over time, play the leg straighter. But not if it makes you start to slouch. Good. And reverse your steps. So you're back to hands together and square forward. Good. And we'll go back to warrior three, or just step that foot to the floor behind you. Good. Land. And again, we'll stretch out this front leg. So some of you might be ready to move to the floor with your hands here. So pressing down. Don't worry if this knee's really bent. Good, and soften your knee. Bring your hands down. Exhale to step back, downward dog. And then coming forward to hands and knees or plank. Land your knees. We're going to lower down through the front of the body. Shoulders back. Elbows hug in. Good. Bow, take a breath in. As you exhale, press to hands and knees, tuck under your toes, and we'll make our way to standing at the back of the mat again. Elbows on the thighs is always an option. Good. Exhale to chair. Inhale, and then twisting to one side. Make a fist with your bottom hand. Press the top palm into the fist. Good. Come back to prayer hands through the middle and over to the other side. Fist on the bottom, pressing into that fist with the top hand. Good. Prayer hands together. Return. Exhale, interlace your fingers behind your back and bowing forward, let your head drop. Some of you will lift your arms off your back. Good. Return your arms to your body. Exhale and roll up. Inhale at the top, squeeze your shoulders together and roll forward one time. Good. Come back to neutral and let your arms relax. Take your other foot and step it forward. Press down into your feet, and this time we're going to turn to the left. Good. Separate your hands, one to the front, one to the back. And then we're going to tip. One hand down, one hand up. The bottom hand is outside the leg, wherever you can reach. So the hand can be closer to the hip or closer to the ankle. Good. Reverse your steps. Coming back to tall. Let your hands meet and turn. Good. Bring your weight into your front leg. As you exhale, hover the back toe a little or come taller. Good. Make that tripod, bend and bow. And then getting your weight in your standing heel, exhale, stand up, touch the foot for a minute if you need. And then when you're ready, bring the knee level at the hip. Or if you can, hug a little taller. And then we're going to do our twist. So you can hold the outside of your knee and turn. Reaching the other arm back. Or you can grab the outside edge of your foot. Some of you will play that front leg a little straighter. Remembering that your head is going to follow your gaze. So try to look at eye level rather than at the floor. Good. Reverse your steps. Let your prayer hands meet. Come back to center. Warrior 3, or just stepping that foot back. Good, and letting it land and stretching over your front leg. So start with your knee bent, front spine nice and long. Pressing into your feet. If you want, bring your tummy against your leg, hands to the floor, head dropping. So it's better to have your tummy on your thigh. Then your back really rounded. So if you need to, keep your front knee bent to accomplish that. Good. And then leaning into your hands, exhale, step back. Good. And then turning your feet one side, bend your knees and bend your elbows. Press forward to plank. Toes go other way. And just moving at your own pace. So taking your hips as low as you can. Hugging in your elbows and letting them bend a little. One more time each side. Good, knees touch down, toes relax. Elbows hug in, lowering down so shoulders stay nice and lifted. Good, now bring your head down onto a pillow of your hands. As you exhale, lift just your elbows and then lower. Lift as high as you can. Try the last few with the other hand on top. And with elbows down, allow your knees to bend so the soles of your feet face up. Pubic bones on the floor. Good, and then allowing your head to lift. Swim your arms back, palms face your legs. And then returning your forehead down. If it doesn't hurt your knees or lower back, grab your ankles and using powerful arms, hug your heels as close to your bum as you can. Some of you will press your feet into your hands and lift your chest. Good, and reverse your steps. Take a breath in, exhale to hands and knees or plank. You can choose to go to child's pose or downward dog. Exhale and bring your knees down. And relax your toes. Good, we'll bring ourselves up to sitting. Good, okay, so then I'm going to suggest grabbing a bolster or pillow to sit on. And you can put it underneath your hips, just so your hips are a little bit elevated. Okay, and then you can choose between both knees bent or one heel drawn in, if that knee is comfortable. Okay, and then we're going to bring same arm to that leg inside and meet the palms. As you exhale, let that left arm lift up on an angle out behind you. And then take that lifted hand to your lower back, palm facing out. Some of you can grab the front thigh. So option one, just stay tall like this. Option two, you can start to slide the front heel forward and reach down inside that leg. And as you exhale, come back to tall and out of your twist. And we'll do a counter twist the other way. Good, squaring forward, we'll trade sides. So starting with one heel drawn in, or both knees bending and turning. We'll meet the palms, exhale to draw up and back. And then the lifted hand can go behind your lower back, palm facing away, or holding that inner front thigh. So you can stay here or let the front leg stretch out a little ways. Good, exhale back to tall. Squaring forward, counter twist in the opposite direction. Good, and then back to center. We'll come back to both feet on the ground, both knees bent. So I want you to feel like you're on your sitting bones here, not back on your tailbone to start. And then from a tall feeling, exhale, chin into throat. And head lifting. And then just moving your neck a couple more times each way at your own pace. Now, holding the backs of your thighs, we're going to do kind of like a cat stretch. So chin into throat, round your back out. Hold on with strong hands. Good, pull out of that flexion, lift up. Good, exhale, chin to throat. Round your back if it feels nice. Hold on with your hands. Good, and then from tall, we're going to do what we did in standing. We'll bring the tummy right against the legs. Hands walk forward, but shoulders nice and relaxed. And you can either hold your neck in a position so you can gaze between your feet, or you can let your chin dip in a little bit. Some of you will lift your toes up and walk your heels a little further forward, but try to keep your tummy on your thighs. So you can stay very still here, or you can sway a little side to side. Those of you that can reach your feet, massage the bottoms of your feet with your hands. Pulling your toes towards your shins. Good, and then we'll just take the feet and let them point. So you can draw your heels back, and you can even, if you reach, don't worry if you don't, but if you curl your toes toward the bottoms of your feet. Good, take a breath in, exhale, press into your heels, and come back to tall. Good, slip down from your pillow if you used one. Good, and what we're going to do is take our hands behind our backs, either fingers pointing toward the toes or fists, palms facing each other. As you exhale, lift your hips up. Breath in, exhale, lower to where you started. So we're just coming up and down like that at your own pace. Or on the exhale, you can bring your hips back between your hands and sit down. Or you can practice keeping your hips up in this position. Good. Landing. Give your wrist a little bit of a squeeze. Good. And then we'll come forward. So we have mat behind us on which to lie. So I recommend starting off with your knees bent when you first lie down. So when you get back onto your back, you can take a minute and just let your lower back settle into the floor. Then pressing into one foot, draw your knee in, the other leg can go straight. You can hold the back, that leg, reach it up toward the sky. Bring it slightly across the midline. Good, back to tall and trade. So the standing foot can stay on the floor, knee bent, or you can have that leg straight. The floating leg can go just as straight as you need to feel some stretch. And then if you feel good, bring it slightly over across the midline. Good, and then from tall, hug both knees in. Good, and we'll set up for Shavasana. So feet wide, knees together in a teepee, or if you wish, legs straight along your mat with a comfortable amount of space between your heels. Hands on your body, your arms open, palms up. So in that position, tune into where you feel the support underneath your body and allow your weight to relax into the feeling of being held, especially your head. If it feels like your chin is a little bit jutting up toward the ceiling, just tuck a rolled blanket or a pillow, small pillow underneath your head. And then with your eyes closed, or if that overwhelms you, eyes open, just staring softly at a spot on the ceiling, bring your attention to the space on the inside of your skin. And practice just observing. So identifying feelings rather than identifying with them. Purposely seeking out tension. Seeking it out with compassion. But within the context of the intention you set at the beginning, how you do want to feel, how you do want to act, breathe, think, stand. Imagine if you could release this tension on your exhale. And breathe in what it is you would like to hold inside. Receive it on your inhale. So if you like, imagine that the breath enters through the crown of your head and comes in and down. Even if you like, through all the way through your legs and arms to your hands and feet, so literally filling. And then the exhale is a wave back up and out, releasing through the crown of your head. So strongly imagining what you want entering your body as you inhale. Feel the wave washing in and down. And then the exhale, scooping up everything on its way up and out. Imagine that it just disappears into the space around you. So if you wish, you can infuse this exercise with colors, textures, or temperatures that you find relaxing. And then as often as you're able, what is it that I do want? How is it that I do want to feel? Asking these questions to create a point B toward which you can move through the power of your wishes and intentions. So if we really want that point B, if those wishes are strongest, we apply the effort and we seek the help that we need to reach that destination. Take as long as you like, resting. And when you're ready to come up, take a moment and identify with any comfortable feelings that you notice, thinking, this is me. I'm going to use this as my normal. So that when uncomfortable feelings arise, they just serve as a signal to stop, generate some compassion, and do this exercise every day, just kind of clearing the space on the inside and receiving what you need. You take some deeper breaths that refresh you, wiggle your toes, fingers, stretch in ways that feel good. And then coming onto your side for as long as you need and back to sitting gradually. Good. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.